You're listening to Real Estate Radio Northwest on Money Radio 1300 KKOL. Now, live in studio, your hosts, local real estate experts, Nick Neal and Carolyn Frame.
Hi friends, I hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm Nick Neal. I'm your host here at Real Estate Radio Northwest. Well, we're here with Andy Sharp from Sharp Estates Construction, and he's a general contractor that specializes in home remodels and additions, and just a neat guy. We thought it would be fun to kind of pick his brain on some topics, some important things. But before we do that, let's get to know a little bit about you. Andy, where are you from? And tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, hey, Nick. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah.
I grew up back on the East Coast, had the good fortune to live on a farm about an hour outside of New York City. And it's kind of there that my interest in construction started. You know, on a farm, you're always building or fixing something.
Then where'd you go to school?
Well, I went to college at the University of North Carolina in Greensboro, and where I studied design and technical theater. After my undergrad, I went on and did a year at the postgrad program at Yale University up in New Haven, Connecticut.
So you're a smart guy. That's awesome.
Well, yeah.
They don't let just anybody in there. Yeah.
That's right. Going back to the Northeast, it didn't take me long to realize that I really had no business being in the Northeast after 4 years in North Carolina. And so at the end of my 1 year there, I answered a work ad for Tacoma Actors Guild. Was actually looking for a master carpenter. And Tacoma, Washington sounded like a nice distance away from New Haven, Connecticut, so I applied. And
you've never been there before?
No.
Never been to Washington?
No,
wow,
no.
crazy.
Yeah, and so I interviewed over the phone, got the job, and loaded up my 74 Nova with all of my worldly goods and drove out here. And that was 23 years ago, and have really never looked back.
Wow, that's awesome. Well,
yeah.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Northwest on Money Radio, KKOL am 1300. I'm Nick Neal, here with Carolyn Frame and Andy Sharp of Sharp Estates Construction. And what an interesting background. You know, we talk to a lot of people that are in real estate, and they don't have that diversity, but it really sounds like it kind of came into what you ended up doing with construction.
Theater is a very collaborative enterprise, and you start with a script, and then a director comes along and he's got a concept for it, and he brings on a team of designers, lights and sets and costumes. And all these people are working together, kind of towards a common goal. And I try and bring that same spirit of collaboration into the design and construction work that I do with my client, because it's very, very important. Involving the homeowners in the realization of, basically creating the setting of their own home.
That's cool. Yeah, well, we're going to talk more about that, and that was something that sparked my interest about choosing a contractor and making sure you get the right one.
Right.
So we're heading into a break now. Real Estate Radio Northwest with Carolyn Frame and Nick Neal and Andy Sharp of Sharp Estates Construction. Come back and find out how not to get stuck with the wrong contractor. We'll be right back.
Real Estate Radio Northwest is hosted by local real estate and finance experts Nick Neal and Carolyn Frame. The purpose of the show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else.